And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC week number 87. I'm, of course, your live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It has been it's been a week. It's been a week since our last Sparkling Tuna Cup, and also it's been a couple of hours since our last cast. It has been an intense day of StarCraft here. We were live earlier with the StarCraft Evolution King of the Hill. Of course, we were live earlier this morning, like 12 plus hours, almost 24 hours ago, with the Hatchery Cup, and now we are back. We are here with our weekly open tournament. Let's go, baby, let's go. With a very special edition, by the way, because for the first time, the Patreon has kicked in, and we have a boosted prize pool. Typically, our event has been very top-heavy, but starting from this week, we are going to be paying out top four. Top four players are paid out. Let's go, baby, let's go. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have our red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. And you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. You can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you can get your Gamba going and place your bets on either our Terran or our Protoss. Let's go. Let us go. Once again, welcome one and all. This is our weekly open tournament every single week for many years at this point. We have been hosting the Sparkling Tuna Cup. I say that we did take like a year-long hiatus. There was a hiatus at a time, true, but now we are here, now we are back. And again, thank you so much to all of our patrons. This event is funded by the people, for the people, via Patreon, of course, and we have reached greater and greater goals, and as a result, the prize pool is boosted, has been increased. Now we can pay out top four. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Papa. Thanks so much as we are jumping into our first series. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live. The bracket is stacked. The bracket is intense. And we even have some new names. We even have some new heavy hitters as well. We'll get into the bracket after this series. For now, going to be jumping in, going to be indulging in our Terran versus Protoss. So far, standard open. So far, everything's looking normal here. We do have a ranks expand, single gas opener out of Nicoract. Likewise, across the map, Gate, Cybercore into Nexus. Standard openers all around. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. But what is crazy, what is wild is the map. The map itself. Welcome one and all to Sandworm. Of course, we've been featuring TLMC maps for a month, for just over that, I think, as well. Featuring some of the TLMC maps whenever we can, and our tournament map pool here is a custom map pool. We have a couple of ladder maps and also maps like Persephone, Sandworm, and Last Fantasy. Oh boy. Sandworm, of course, being a bit of a smaller map, bit of a rush map, but there's a lot to get into. The first Reaper is going to be zoned away. Azura, he does hold on, he does keep up, he does defend. When it comes to Sandworm, the rush distance by ground is very short, that is true, but we have these dragon teeth in the middle. They're kind of like Neo-Violet Square. They're kind of like that kind of the pachinko machine with all those squares, but these cones, these teeth, if you will, are closely packed. They're a lot more closer here. It does limit movement from certain units. Certain units are too thick, they're too large. Others are small enough to squeeze on through, so that can impact some of the movement, some of the army movement specifically, and engagements here in the center of the map as well. So bear that in mind. For now, let's settle in. For now, let us settle in. Again, just calming down myself as well. Oh god. But yeah, just excited to see a bunch of new faces for our tournament, as always, and our regulars as well. You know, it's not all about the new faces, but our regulars alongside them. But now we do have our initial scout here across the map with the Hallucination, confirming the 111, confirming the Hellion production. Hellions were spotted. We do see there's no crazy setup here for a Mind Drop, for example. Spots the add-on swap, so lack of medevac, lack of Mind Drop. It is going to be a Raven opener here out of Nicoract. Does move out with the Hellions, and we'll see if Azura can keep up. So far, nice SimCity. Shield battery on the way, does almost wall off that natural. Stalkers in position, and for the time being, the Hellion Reaper is going to be denied entry into the main base. We do have confirmation it's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Azura, opening up Twilight Council, opening up Blink, not Stargate, not Robo. It's up to Nicoract to piece together what exactly is going on, as he has not seen the tech, not yet. Tries to make his way in, does open the door. Helize flood on into the main, and 3 Helize one-shot probe. Very nice force field here. The main base is locked down, but the natural is still exposed, and the probes, they do line up for a moment, but nice, he walls himself in. Let's go. Ooh, does barely squeeze through. Probes are getting picked up, getting 4 probe kills so far, but nothing too major. Like I say, that 6 probes do go down. I love the pull away. I love the re-wall, but barely didn't fully wall off. Whew. Very intense, very clutch. In the end, we do have a trade here. 3 Hellions, 1 Reaper for 6 probes. Not the worst trade for Nicoract, bearing in mind as we also have the auto turret into the main base. More probes going to be going down. Ooh, and a late reaction out of Azura. Very late reaction. 10 workers going down in the main. Nice damage so far here by Nicoract. Bearing in mind he did confirm scouting. Checking his vision, Nicoract, he is aware of the blink-based opener as he saw all the stalkers, and so far has seen no oracles or phoenixes. So he's aware of what's going on. No massive gateway explosion. It's going to be up to a 3-gate setup, so very safe play here from Azura. Does take his gases at the natural. It's going to be 3-gate blink into tech, into a bay, before expanding. As Azura, he does move out. Azura, he's just in position to maintain map control, to contain Nicoract, to keep him on these 2 bases. From the side of Nicoract, he is going up to extra Raxes. Do you see what I see? I see 2 hidden Raxes behind the main base. I see no add-ons, not yet. This might just be a 2-base all-in. We might end up even pulling the boys. We'll keep an eye on Nicoract. If we skip add-ons here, then this should be an all-in. If we get add-ons, then most likely we're building up towards something a little bit later. Now though, yeah, just focusing on marine production. This feels like an all-in. We did mention earlier, Sandworm is a rush map. It is a smaller map. Because of certain features, you can be more defensive. We have seen longer games on Sandworm, but the rush distance by ground is still quite short. And it looks like Nicoract wants to take advantage of that. Again, 5-rack setup, hidden Raxes, more marines on the way, and he's not stopping. He's not stopping that marine production. Meanwhile, Azura across the map, we do see a little bit more harass, but I assumed was going to be Colossus, opens up Disruptor. Bold move. Disruptor first, Disruptor second. Very bold, very risky. Okay, there we go. Disruptor first into Colossus does cancel the second Disruptor, thankfully, as that was getting a little bit intense and just getting a little bit too risky. Now, the reason why I would say it's risky is because Disruptors have a lot of potential, that is true, but they're one and done. One and done, you get 1 shot, you get 1 Nova. And Azura, he's rallying across the map with it. There it goes off. Oh, won't quite connect. And Nicoract, he's going to commit, and again, he does commit across the map. There is no 3rd CC behind this. 5 Raxes, Mass Marine, a couple of Marauders. It's all or nothing for Nicoract. As he's just rallying across the map. Azura trying to slow him down. Again, the tanks and Marauders, oh, actually I should say, the tanks do kind of get choked up here. Nova doesn't connect. Yeah, no major connection. Azura, he's in trouble. He has to race back home. Disruptor's going to get caught out. That's going to be a free Disruptor going down. 0 value, 0 damage. Colossus does arrive, but doesn't have enough support. As Nicoract, he stims in. He stims in, chasing Azura down. Tanks are getting within range of the Robo. Robo's exposed. GG gets called. The writing is on the wall. Nicoract, he snowballs out of control. And Nicoract will take game number 1. Whew. GG, well played, Nicoract. He will claim a lead in the series. Again, Nicoract committing here to his 2-base play. Unfortunately, Azura, it was risky to open up Disruptor. The Disruptor did not pay for itself. Likewise, he barely was able to slow down the army either. He was busy getting a third base, saturating his 3rd base as well. He was trying to slow down the army, but he picked off like 1 or 2 Marines. Nothing major. Nothing major in the end. GG, well played. On top of that, the size of the map also comes into play, bearing in mind that it is a small map. It is Sandworm, and in the end, Nicoract did break through. And now the pressure is on. The pressure is on Azura to bounce back, to try to force back and forth, to try to tie up the series. I want to believe he can, but I'm curious what map is going to be chosen. We'll see. We shall see. Depending on the map, it will kind of favor either later gameplay, more economic play, more aggressive play. Never mind. Never mind, Pappy, never mind. We have our second map. We're going to be loading into Whispers of Gold. It's going to be a short series. It's going to... Whispers of Gold being the other rush map. I would say the shortest rush distance map in the ladder map pool. I'm actually not too certain how this compares to Sandworm, for example, but very small map, and aggression is going to be favored. Let's go. Refresh. SCC. No, it's fine. It's all good. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Wisps of Gold, we have the Red Terran player. The Red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes that lead the series 1-0. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Ping Pong Exports. It is Azura. Here we go. As we do calm things down, we do settle in. Again, Nicoract, he did commit to I wouldn't say borderline 2 base, still in with that last game. Again, throwing down extra Raxes, not getting a third TC, just hyper committed on 2 bases. Didn't pull the boys, but in the end didn't even need to pull the boys to catch Azura off guard. Now we're going to be loading into another small map. Another map where you are vulnerable to 2 base and even 3 base play. Specifically here, Wisps of Gold, there is no ramp coming into the natural. The 3rd and the 4th base are also a little more exposed. There is technically a ramp coming into the triangle third, but it's a very wide ramp. Likewise, multiple attack paths into the 3rd base. You can knock down the rocks as well. In general, the 3rd bases here can be quite difficult to defend, and we have seen a lot of success with aggression. Speaking of, double gas. This time it's going to be a double gas opener out of Azura. Double gas means a faster factory. From here we can go into earlier Reactor Reaper Hellion, we can go into earlier Starport, into earlier committed mine drops. We do have a lot of potential here for Nicoract. He can go into Banshee play, for example. We'll see, as the factory is of course prioritized. Factory is on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, Azura, standard opener, gate into Cybercore into Nexus, standard opener, just like the last game. Really, it is Nicoract that's mixing it up. Does mix it up. Reaper moves out. It's going to be a Sentry-based opener out of Azura. As you saw even in the previous game, Sentry openers are very trendy nowadays. Just because of the change to the energy overcharge, it does mean the hallucination scouts are a lot more reliable, a lot more easier to get into, a lot more accessible. And speaking of, there's the energy overcharge, and there is the hallucination scout. So again, this is a lot more standard. Hallucination dips in, we'll get eyes on the delayed expansion and on the faster factory. Hellion production on the way. Yep, this is going to be Reactor Reaper Hellion, so this is going to be a little more committed early on. Last game we saw Nicoract did get 6 probe kills, and we'll see how many he can get this time. And again, like, Azura had like a really clutch defense in game 1. I was very impressed by the force field. I was really impressed by the attempted re-wall to lock the Hellions into the natural. Like, it was all really fancy is what I want to say, but barely didn't quite pay off. Didn't really come to full fruition, unfortunately. But part of that might also be just an unfamiliarity with the map itself, with what it takes to fully wall an area off. So Hellion Reaper has arrived. Now we're getting up to triple Reaper and double Hellion. Likewise, once again, going for the mineral line, going for the Sentry actually. Shield Breaker coming in clutch. Azura does pull away. I pulled away for a moment. 1 probe goes down. And Nicoract, he doesn't commit. He pulls away. As he backs off, behind this we have a tech lab on the starport, this time not going into Raven, but into Banshee. Cloak is on the way. Much more committed here by Nicoract. Now, thankfully, Azura, he's not delaying his robo. On 2 bases, he does have a robo on the way here at the natural. Hellion Reaper into the mineral line. Once again, Azura does pull away. Does pull away in time. Hellions are targeted down. They don't get enough damage. Azura holds. Does hold on. Once again, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Azura. Twilight Council into Blink. The Reaper will be shut down. But for the most part, Nicoract is going to be aware. And we'll see what he can get done. Now, with this robo, it does mean that we will have access to detection. There should be an observer on the map. Problem is, the first observer is usually sent across the map to scout, as you can see with the rally, so it won't be at home. A recall may be available, and we might have to rely on a recall here to deal with this Banshee. The Banshee's getting in position. A Cloak is finishing up in a couple of seconds. Nicoract, he's already moving in. They can 2-shot probes. 1 worker so far, getting 2, getting 3. Azura is across the map, doesn't quite commit into the natural. So far, nice damage, getting it to 5, getting it to 6. Oh my god. 6 probes go down. Banshee does cloak away. Second Banshee's moving out. You know, the Stalkers are across the map, but last there is no Observer. I should say the Observer is back at home, so there's no high ground vision. Stalkers, they cannot threaten the main. Nicoract moves out. Now Stim did just begin for Nicoract. Ooh, as he is looking for the Observer. Alas, there is none. The Observer's back at home. Nicoract, who will get 2 more probe kills. Okay, the 2 more workers. Meanwhile, Nicoract bleeding out a lot of Marines. Thankfully, does preserve his tanks. Nicoract here will pull away. Benji goes back in and gets up to 4 probes. How many in total? Getting up to 11. 11 worker kills, a sentry, a stalker. Did cost him quite a bit when it comes to the initial dive with the Hellion Reaper. Meanwhile, the Banshee gets even more damage done. Ay, ay, ay. The Banshee 4 workers on it so far. And oh my god. Nicoract does punish. And Nicoract this time is not going for an all-in, he is going for a 3rd TC. So Nicoract, he is building up, he is expanding, getting ready for a longer game state. Upgrade's about to finish, and Nicoract, he will soon break out. So they're trying to keep up. Let's pull away. Let's pull away. Gets 2 probes at the 3rd, now headed towards the natural. Still getting more damage done. Again, it's only been 2 Banshees, but they've achieved so much. And here comes Nicoract, here comes the main army. Azura caught out of position, was trying to defend against that Banshee. Tanks will siege, there's 2 Immortals to defend, but the tank blows are brutal. Shield battery does come into play. Does stall off the army. The base is under fire. Banshee still wreaking havoc, and 10 probes going to be going down. And Azura just being pulled apart. Cannot keep up. Ooh, massive with a mine shot. Mine shot goes off, stims in, takes down the Immortal, takes down the base, takes down everything. GG gets caught. Nicoract, he snowballs out of control, just pulling Azura apart. And Nicoract will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Very, very aggressive and very impressive play there by Nicoract. Again, both in game 1 and in game 2. Game 1 was basically a 2-base all-in. Game two, we saw Nicoract building up towards a longer game state, but the harassment was just too much. Whether it was with the Hellion Banshee initially, the Hellion Reaper initially, or the follow-up Banshee. Specifically, those Banshees, they achieved so much damage. It wasn't just the damage, but they were also forcing the Observers to stay at home, Stalkers to stay at home, and also just testing and really limiting the attention that Azura had to defend at multiple locations at once. It was very, very difficult to defend, very awkward to hold on both locations, and Azura was torn apart. It's torn apart then and there. GG, well played. Nicoract will claim the series, and Nicoract will advance on into the next round. And he's waiting for his next opponent. We have some updates. We do have some updates here. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look back at yourselves. Let's go.